Hey guys, it's Greg from East Coast Dyes, and I'm going to be showing you how to string up your STX Superpower, just like Tim Desko does. He is the STX Superpower player at Syracuse, and everyone saw his highlight reel goals this year. He uses just regular hard mesh, and his pocket is more mid to low and a little bit baggy, kind of similar to Mark Matthews' pocket. So today I'm showing you exactly how to string a sidewall just like his in your Superpower, and also what his shooter setup is like. Alright guys, so now we're going to string the sidewall for Tim Desko's sick. You can see that Tim Desko uses a 9-diamond top string, so just 9 diamonds evenly placed across the top of the scoop. It's nothing fancy here. So if you want to know how to do a 9-diamond top string, there's already a tutorial on the Lacrosse Network's channel, so make sure to go check that out. You can start there, just string up the 9-diamond top string, and then it'll be ready to go on the sidewall. So we're going to start with the sidewall. You can see here the 9-diamond top string was done through the very first sidewall hole. So we're going to start off by putting our sidewall string through the second sidewall hole right here. So then the first thing in the pattern is a 1. So you're just going to go under that first hole of mesh, that first 10-diamond hole, and back out the top and into the outside of the next sidewall hole and back around. So not an interlock or anything, just a regular one to start. So then we're going to do what's called an SI, and this is the knot that Tim Desko uses, and also is the knot used by Mark Matthews in his stringings. So to do an SI, we're going to go down through the top of the next hole of mesh, just like that. Then we're going to go down and outside, in the outside of the sidewall. So you see we're going to skip the sidewall hole there and go in through the outside of the next sidewall hole, and then you're going to pull it all the way through and take you'll have this string, and you're going to see this gap right here that's left between the mesh and the loop. You're going to put the string right up under that gap, just like that. So it's just a form of interlock or a form of knot that's going to pull the mesh down very tightly. And so you can see when you're all done, it's just like that. So we're going to do another SI next on another mesh hole while skipping another sidewall hole. So again, show you guys real slow. Down through the top of the mesh hole from the back, then in the outside of the sidewall hole, then back up and through the mesh hole and under that sidewall string. And you want to pull those really tight, and you can see this is what's going to create our channel and give us hold, is pulling these holes of mesh down very tightly. So then we're going to do another SI down to the next sidewall hole, and then finally one more SI down to the next sidewall hole. And you can see we're pulling the mesh down very far and very tightly down the sidewall, and this is going to create a tight channel and the mid-low pocket that Tim Desko is looking for. So you can see there we've concluded all of our SIs, and that mesh is pulled very tightly down the side, creating a nice channel. So now we're going to start to create the pocket. So you're going to do a 1 SI. So that next hole of mesh, you're going to come in through the back, down through the bottom, just like that, and then you're going to do another hole of mesh. So you're going to go back around in through the top of the next hole of mesh and SI that, and SI that mesh hole down, skipping a sidewall hole. So in through the outside of the sidewall and back up through the gap and pull it very tightly. So you can see here we went over that hole of mesh, skipped the sidewall hole, and then SI'd this mesh hole down to the next sidewall hole. And then finally you're going to do one more SI on the next mesh hole down to the next sidewall hole. Just like that. And finally you're going to do a 1 in through the back of this final mesh hole. And then at the end he goes in through the outside of the sidewall and back out just to finish off the tie-offs. So just to run you guys down the pattern again very quickly, it's a 1, then you skip a hole, SI, skip a hole, SI, 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 a 1 SI while skipping a hole, an SI, and then finally a 1. And so for Tim Desko's bottom string, he goes down to that next 10 diamond row after the last one, the next 10 diamond row, and weaves the bottom string in and out and pulls the entire thing and scrunches it all together very tightly. So in the end you end up with a mid-low pocket with a very nice channel that lets Tim Desko throw all those fakes and all those ridiculous shots that he likes to pull. So next I'll show you guys how Tim Desko does his shooting strings. Alright guys, so now you know how to string your sidewall like Tim Desko. Now you need to know how he does shooting strings. So he strings his shooting strings with 1 nylon, 2 straights, and 1 U. And it's a lot of shooting strings. The bottom one sits pretty low in the pocket, so this creates a very smooth release with a very low whip release, a nice gradual throwing pattern, so not a ton of whip on this shooter setup. The nylon and the 2 straights are done on the 9 diamond rows. So 1 row down, then the nylon, skip a row, straight, skip a row, straight, skip a row, and then a 3 diamond U, which is going to provide just a little bit of hold when the ball is sitting down there on the bottom, but not too much, and still a really smooth release. And you may have seen that Tim Desko doesn't cut his sidewalls or anything, he just leaves them long, and he must use shorter shooting strings than me, because this would be a little bit ridiculous to play with, and I'm not sure it would even be legal. But you know, so now you know exactly how Tim Desko strings a stick. If you have an STX Superpower, you can try this exact pattern out, or if you have any other head, you can adopt the pattern, adapt it to a different head by skipping a couple holes here and there, and so you can string it pretty much just about any head. So anyway guys, thanks for watching. Make sure to subscribe to the Lacrosse Network for daily lacrosse clips and LXM Pro coverage, as well as more weapon choice videos and more how-tos by East Coast Dies. Also make sure to go subscribe to my channel, East Coast Dies, for daily string videos. Thanks for watching.